Good afternoon. This is your experiment number 1 in QEDM manufacturing laboratory. So this is the manufacturing laboratory for the QEDM student, and this is experiment number 1. So through this particular video, we'll try to give you the introduction. We will also show you some demonstration videos, and based on that you have to prepare report and submit. So today's experiment is study of mechanism and morphology of chip formation under different turning condition. As you know, in machining there are different machining processes. You have turning, you have drilling, you have milling. There is one more process like grinding. And if you go through the entire gamut of machining processes, there are a lot of processes. Turning is one of the basic processes, and we will study the effect of process parameters of turning on chip morphology and study the mechanism of chip formation. What are the process parameters? Process parameters are cutting velocity, feed, and depth of cut. Cutting velocity is typically expressed in meter per minute. Feed is expressed in turning as millimeter per revolution, and depth of cut is expressed in millimeter. We will study the effect of these process parameters on the chip morphology and mechanism of chip formation. Why we should study that? Let us have a look. There are different machinability indexes. So there is something called machinability indexes. Machinability index or characteristics determines how easily you can machine a material. Say for example, how much force is required. If your force requirement is less, it is more machinable. How much energy is required. If your energy requirement is less, it is more machinable. How much temperature is generated. If your temperature generation is less, it is more machinable. How much tool wear takes place. If your tool wear is less, it is more machinable. What is the roughness? That is, upon machining, what is the surface roughness? So depending on this, if the surface roughness is less, that means finish is better, it is more, its machinability index is there. Measurement of force, energy, temperature, surface roughness requires sophisticated instruments. We will be using them. But if someone wants you to study machinability of a material and doesn't provide you with enough infrastructure, what do? So in that case, you can concentrate on chip morphology, and by looking at the chip morphology as well, you can decide about the machinability of that particular material. So morphology and mode of chip formations are very, very important. So the basic underlying theory is written here. I have also explained. So what is the objective? Objective of the current experiment is to study the effect of process parameter and cutting environment on chip characteristics in turning of medium carbon steel with uncoated carbide inserts. So as I said, these are the three process parameters. We are going to study the effect of cutting speed and feed on chip characteristics. What are those chip characteristics? That we have not yet discussed. We are going to do that. What else? During machining, there is a machining environment. So typically machining would be dry with application of cutting fluid. So such a machining environment would be called wet machining environment, that is with cutting fluid or cutting lubricant. And for benchmarking, we would be also doing dry machining. So the effect of machining environment and cutting speed and feed, that we are going to study on chip characteristics in turning. What are you going to turn? We are going to turn a medium carbon steel with uncoated carbide inserts. So let us see what are the other conditions. So this is the experiment. It would be a straight turning operation. It is a C60 steel. C60 steel means its carbon percentage is roughly 0.6%. It is a plain carbon steel, doesn't have much of alloying element. The cutting tool is a P30 grade cutting tool. What is P30 grade carbide tool? That you have to learn on your own. So I am not going to discuss that. This is a composite carbide grade. So it has tungsten carbide, a bit of titanium and tantalum carbide, and it has cobalt as binder. What is exact composition of P30? How P30 differs from say P10? This kind of information you have to learn on your own. This is having a carbide insert. This is having a geometry industrial designation as SPUN. In fact, the complete designation is SPUN 120308. What exactly it means, that also you find out. The experiment has been conducted for you at between 60 to 120 meter per minute at 60, 80, 120 and 180 meter per minute, and at a feed of 0.8, 0.12, 0.16 and 0.2 millimeter per revolution. Depth of cut, we are not going to study the effect of depth of cut, so that remained constant. As I said earlier, machining environment was under soluble oil, that means with coolant lubricant, and this soluble oil was having a composition of 1:20, so 20 part water and 1 part soluble oil or oil. This was mixed, and it was also done under dry environment. So this is it. One thing I will tell you, this P indicates that it is a positive rake insert. It is a positive rake insert, and orthogonal rake in this particular case is +6 degree. I will also give you something else. Phi is 75 degree, phi 1 is 15 degree, and nose radius is 0.8 millimeter. So this is the basic cutting tool that you are going to use. It is a straight turning operation. Straight turning means this is the jaw of the chuck, this is the center of the tailstock, and this is your cutting tool, and the cutting tool was moving in this direction, that is the feed, and this is the spindle rotation. So this is the feed. So this is straight turning operation, and this is the way the experiment has been conducted. Now procedural step: measure the workpiece diameter, note down the available speed feed condition, calculate and set the appropriate RPM, collect the chip, note down the color and form of the chip, measure the thickness of the chip, average thickness. So after collecting the chips, you have to measure it at least on 5 to 10 number of chips, determine the value of chip reduction coefficient and shear angle. So the chip characteristics that we are looking at, they are zeta. Zeta, if you recall, is chip thickness divided by uncut chip thickness, and we are also referring to shear angle. What else? We are looking at chip form. What is the shape of the chip and the color of the chip? So these are the things that we are going to get. If you recall, A1 uncut chip thickness is feed time sin phi. In our case, S we are going to vary from 0.08 to 0.20 millimeter per revolution, and phi, already I have mentioned, the principal cutting edge angle is 75 degree. Now this shows the basics of the chip formation. What has been drawn here is something like this. that I have drawn just a few minutes back. So instead of drawing the whole thing, only this part has been drawn. So this is here. So this is your depth of cut. This is the current position of the tool. This was the position of the tool one revolution before. So this is the feed. This is the displacement of the tool. This is A1, that is uncut chip thickness. And if you take a section, so this has been drawn on pi r reference plane. If you take a section on pi o, this is the revolution on orthogonal plane. This is your A1, this is your A2, and this is the shear angle. Shear angle can be calculated by this particular method. Zeta you are going to calculate. How you are going to calculate? You are going to collect chip and measure this A2. And A1, as we have already said, you are going to determine from the set feed and the tool geometry. So this is the measured quantity from which you will get zeta, and then you will plug in into this particular equation and you will determine shear angle. So this is your task. Other than that, during the experiment, you have to note down the form and color of the chip. So this is the video. So let us see how the video plays out. So this is our demonstration video. Just a minute. So all these things we have already discussed, what we are going to do, all these things. So this is the overview of the lathe. This is the overview of the lathe. So this is your workpiece, as you can see. This is your tailstock, this is your headstock, and all those things. This is the overview, and this is the headstock. This is the feed changing feed gearbox. So this is the feed gearbox. This is the headstock, that is speed gearbox. It is also known as speed gearbox. So from here you can change the rotational speed, and this is feed gearbox, where from you can change the feed. We have to change both of them because we want to carry out at different speed feed combination. So let us carry on with the video. So at this moment, the operator is measuring the chip thickness, and as you can see, he has measured the chip thickness, and the chip thickness has come out to be, let us see how much it is. It has come out to be 190 millimeter. So it has come out to be 190 millimeter. This diameter measure, not chip thickness, the diameter measurement is important. After that, he has found out the rotational speeds that you have to find out. But one important thing is that diameter has been measured as 190 millimeter. That you have to do. He is using this machine is having a variable frequency type. So because of that, any RPM can be set. So first RPM required is 167, and he has set it as 100. And after that, what he is doing is he is giving depth of cut. So exactly 2 millimeter. This is the initial part when the job is touching, and now he is giving a depth of cut of exactly 2 millimeter, and then he will engage the machining process and collect the chip. I am not going through the whole video. I'll upload this video separately, so you can go through my lecture and this video separately. Once again, he is setting feed. So he is basically setting the knot on cone, then giving depth of cut, and once again he is machining. And as you can see, currently he is doing dry machining. So this particular video, which was being displayed within the PowerPoint, I will separately upload it and give you the link so that you can go through my lecture as well as this particular video. So let us go to the next slide. So in this particular slide, what you have to do is that already you have seen that the operator has noted down the diameter of the job as 190 millimeter. This is the different cutting velocity, that cutting speed that he has said. And how he has said, because you cannot directly set the cutting velocity. So cutting velocity is set by choosing appropriate rotational speed. So using this particular equation, he has got N1, N2, N3 and N4, and these 4 different N's he has got for 60, 80, 100 and 120 meter per minute, and accordingly using this equation he has said. So these rotational speeds you have to write down, and for this particular one, as speed is not varying, only one rotational speed will come. Who is going to measure the chip thickness? We have conducted the experiment and the measured chip thickness is shown here. Okay, one thing I have not shown you, I will show you how to measure chip thickness. That we will show you. I'll go back and show you that particular one. So he has collected chip, done multiple measurements, and after that he has taken average, and this is the value of the chip thickness which is available. What you have to do? You have to calculate zeta, you have to calculate beta 0, you have to prepare a table like this, and you have to fill it up. You have to add 2 more columns. Why do you need to add 2 more columns? Because you have to write about chip shape and you have to write about chip color. So that you have to do. Now let us go back one slide and show you how the chip thickness measurement is done. So these are the chips. These are continuous chips. This particular vernier caliper is having a zero error of 0.05. So now he is going to press this button, this particular button, for zero error setting. This is a digital vernier caliper. This is a digital vernier caliper that he is using. So he presses that and the zero error vanishes, it becomes 0. So when the 2 anvils are touching each other, measurement anvils are touching each other, the dimension should be 0. That's what he is doing electronically. So this is a digital vernier micrometer. Now he takes a continuous chips. If the chips are broken, then there is no problem. He breaks it, and after that he takes a measurement. So this is one measurement which is possibly coming for a particular VCS and machining environment. He takes around 10 such measurements and finds out the average, and this is the average which are given here. So the average value are being shown here. So already I have specified these average values are shown here. So now what is your task? You have to fill up this table. As I said, 2 more columns are to be added, and then you have to submit a report. So this is for machining environment weight. So same way you have to find out the 1, 2, 3, 4 rotational speeds, and here only one rotational speed because this remains constant and feed is changing. And as you can see, the A2s are also changing. So you have to find out zeta and beta, and here you have to add 2 columns, and they would be for chip form or chip shape and chip color. So that you have to note. You might say we have not been provided with the data. The data is coming. So this is the chip form. As you can see, this is dry machining. This is at 100 meter per minute, 0.08. So as you can see here, you have obtained continuous chip. Here you have obtained continuous chip, but when the feed has become 0.02 from 0.08, the continuous chip has become completely broken. And as you go from this stage, this is 0.01, this is 0.02, the chips have become much more broken. Only continuous chip that you have got is here. When you have varied the speed, what has happened? As you can see, this is more or less broken chip. The feed is 0.16 and cutting speed is 60, and this is once again 0.16, cutting speed is 120. So the cutting speed has been doubled. So when it has been done, still you have a lot of broken chips, but you have some chips which are multi-turn continuous. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turn continuous chips, and this tendency has gone up when the feed cutting velocity has increased. So this you have to explain in your report. I will come to the report. So this is the same thing for wet environment. So in case of wet environment, the matrix is same: 0.08, 0.12, 0.16, 0.2. One interesting thing you will see that here you have obtained continuous chip. Earlier here you did not obtain continuous chip. Here also you have continuous chip. Even here you have continuous chip, and here also some continuous chips are available. If you go back to the same process parameter condition under dry, primarily broken chips were obtained. So why this difference is coming, that also you need to explain. Possibly you are using a cutting fluid that is providing coolant, cooling and lubrication, so that you have to look into. This is also against wet environment. Here feed is constant 0.16. This is 60 meter per minute. This is 120 meter per minute. And as you have seen, as you are increasing cutting velocity from primarily broken chips, you do get some continuous chips, and that they start to appear from 80 meter per minute onwards. Okay, so this is the basic thing. So this is the report that you have to give us. Record the effect of cutting speed on feed on chip form and shape, as well as color, and discuss the same. That means you have to discuss what are the reasons. Reveal the effect of cutting velocity and feed on zeta and beta 0 for different machining environment and rake angle. Rake angle part is not there because you are not varying the rake angle. Your rake angle is constant. You are using a positive rake tool having a orthogonal rake of +6 degree. So rake angle variation is not applicable to you. Discuss the effect of process parameter and cutting environment on chip characteristics. That means whatever factual things you are obtaining here, maybe, I am not very sure. With respect to VC, you would have a variation of zeta like this. So why it is going up and then it is coming down? What is the percentage of change in zeta value? All those things you have to explain. So that is it. As I said, I will post 3 things in Microsoft Teams. I will post the link of this particular video. I will post the link of the video that I have embedded within the PPT. I did not show the complete video, and I would also post the email address where you have to submit your report, and by within a particular due date. For submitting this, you would require for this particular assignment or experiment, to complete this you would require 4.5 hours roughly. You may require less than that, but definitely you would not require more than 4.5 hours. So you have to go through this video, you have to go through the other video, you have to analyze the data, you have to write the report and submit. Each one of you would have to submit individual report. So it is individual report and handwritten, graphs can be drawn in Excel, then JPG file can be created, and that JPG file and handwritten report can be photographed and converted into PDF in your PC. You do not require a camera. Your mobile phone would be having a camera. With that you can photograph the handwritten report. This JPG file you can incorporate in that handwritten report in your PC, prepare a PDF and send it to our email address. So this is about the first experiment, and this you must complete in the coming Tuesday, that is tomorrow. By tomorrow you have 3 hours class. This video you can observe prior to the class, and the report writing and everything you should complete by tomorrow, and I will give you a date by which you have to submit that report. Thank you so much. Next week we are going to study the similar kind of experiment where the effect of process parameter would be investigated on one of the most important machinability characteristics, that is grinding forces and energy. There the analysis time would be much higher because the generated data would be much larger. So that analysis would require more time, possibly it would be 6 hours. So sufficient amount of time would be given to you. Thank you so much.